So coming to validation types. So basically what are validations means, see, the template input template it is going to verify. Suppose if user give any input for any field, so whether the input format is correct or not, or input correct template is correct or not, the input length is correct or not, like that some what are the condition we define. See, initially property levels based on type of property, for some types, for some basically for some property types automatically some basic and advanced validation will apply. Apart from that, any additional validations if want to define. so so initially property type when you define also some validation we are able to configure, but apart from that any additional conditions if want to define or any additional validation template if want to configure. So basically there are two other types are there apart from constraints. There are two other types are there. Those are obj validate and edit validate. And these validations we can also categorize as client and server side validations. That point I'll discuss. Okay, when I discuss the differences I'll discuss that. See, client side means nothing but on refresh of browser or when input is given, immediately it is going to perform the validation. Mute a microphone, everyone. Mute your microphones. So like that, these client side validations are nothing but on refresh of browser. Suppose after giving input again, if you want to change the input, automatically it will perform that validation. Or on change of value also sometimes it will perform the validation. But in personal edition live environment only it will work perfectly. But client side validation mainly on refresh of browser or on refresh of page it will work. And server side means on submission, on form submission it is going to work. So when a input is given and after submitting, when they click on the button or when they submit the form, then these validations will perform. Actually, which are server side and which are client side, I'll discuss. So with the three types of categories we have, right? Constraints we already discussed. And apart from that, today we are going to discuss two other types. Validate rule or rule obj validate is the name. And other one is edit validate or rule edit validate will be calling. But these other two validations are not declarative rules. See, only constraint is a declarative rule, but obj validate and edit validate are not declarative rules. If you define any condition, we need to call the condition in some other rule we have to call, then only the validation will configure. Okay, so only constraint is declarative rule and the other types are not declarative rules. Okay, let's start with the first type, the other types. Obj validate. Say this obj valid is why, what is rule obj valid? This is the instance name. See, actual name is validate rule, or we can also call it as process validate or page validations. Okay. See, these validations we can apply specific to page. Okay, specific to page. I'm say why saying means because after defining any conditions for your properties, we have to call it in the flaction. Mostly we'll be calling in the flaction. In the flaction you'll be having validation tab will be there. There we need to call these obj validation. So these are specific to page. What are specific to page you'll understand. Okay, and here when we have to go for these validations means, see, constraints. What are constraints? Constraints means everywhere it is going to apply. Okay, suppose if you use some age property, everywhere it is going to apply the constraint condition. Okay, gender and age we have taken example, and gender and age wherever we use in the application in any UI design we use, everywhere that validation will apply if input is given for the properties. So like that, if you don't want to apply the same condition everywhere in one page, if you want to apply one condition, in another design you want to apply another condition. For example, some life insurance policies will be there. For all policies, age limit, age conditions will not be same, right? It will be different, right? So if you need a different condition specific to page, in some page you need a condition different, and in some second page the condition must be different, in third page the condition must be different. So if you need a different conditions everywhere for those two properties, then I cannot use constraints. So specific to page, if I want to apply any condition, a totally different condition in every page means, then See what are the functions I have in constraint, same functions I have in obj validate also. Only thing is, so here after defining condition, we need to call the condition in the flexion rule we have to call. But constraint means everywhere, right? So no need to, we don't call that condition anywhere. But in rule obj validate, once we define the condition, we can call the condition in the flexion we can call. Another thing is in this particular page, sometimes validation will be for more than one type of property also can be there. I mean to say for apart from age, some other property also you can define the validation. So again all the properties you can define in the same rule within that page. Suppose in customer section you need a validation for some 4 or 5 fields. So all the fields, the condition for all those fields you can define in single rule itself. Again, you cannot use the properties from other fields. You cannot use. Suppose if you need a condition for vehicle design, we need to again add a separate condition we need to define. Again, in the previous condition, you cannot use the properties from other designs. You cannot use within one design means in one validation rule you can add. Again, for the other design, if you need any condition, again we need to open a separate rule and we need to define the properties for the remaining page properties. You need to add it in a separate rule. So here per rule only one page properties only we can use. Again for the second design, if you need any validation conditions for different properties, you need to open in a separate rule. Because why we are page level we are calling, right? So compulsory within that page what are the properties are there, those only we have to use. Again validation is not mandatory for all the fields. If requirement is there, even if one property requirement also you can define in this validate rule. More than one also you can add it in the same rule you can add. Okay, let's see how to define this. The thing is, common thing in both is functions are common. Okay, in constraint what are the functions we have, same functions you'll get in the validate rule also. But difference is, we have to, I'll tell you other differences also are there, I'll tell you. But this one we need to call it in the activity or in the flexion we have to call. Let's see. Another thing is, inside the constraint template is there, right? In the constraint template what are the things we have? If condition, require that condition and add a message. But one thing is, here in the obj validate similar template only, but difference is you don't get the require that condition in the template here. Okay, so require that condition will not be there in the validate rule. Remaining and all will be there, but require that condition will not be available. Let's understand how to define this. See, I'm going to take the, so this is created from process category, and we use some predefined functions. Like in constraints what are the functions are there, same will be there here also. And after adding validation we have to call it in the either in the flexion or in the there is activity also. We have one method is there in activity obj validate. In activity also we can define. But why we don't call in activity means, again if you call it in activity, activity name we have to again map it in the flexion only. So always will mostly will directly give the validation name in the validation tab in flexion, not in the activity rules. But in activity separate method is there to separate method is available to call these validations. And when adding these validations, we must use the properties from one design only at a time. Again, if you need a condition for other design, we have to create a separate rule we have to define. Let's see. So some requirement I'll be taking common requirement. For example, last time I already validated first and last name. Okay, this time again I'm going to do that. But using this rule, how to do, I'm going to show you. But this time I'll define message for the last name property. Last time means, okay, this time I'll define message for first name property. In constraint means message is given for the last name, but here I'm going to define the message for the error message for the first name property. And second condition I'll be taking example as the age. I want to set some age limit I want to set. So the value must be compulsory between 20 and 70 only must be given. Okay, if I give a value, So if they give any value less than 20 means it should throw some error message, or if they give any value greater than 70 means it should throw the same message. So the limit, age limit must be between 20 and 70, otherwise it will throw some error message. That custom message we are going to define here, like in constraints. And length of pin code property value should be 6 digits only. If less than or greater than 6 digits if they give, it should throw some error message. Okay, so these three fields are there in the customer design, right? So I'm going to create one validation rule, and all the properties I'm going to so define in the same rule I'm going to define. But after defining, it is compulsory, it is necessary to call these validation compulsory. Like constraint, it will not condition will not trigger automatically, because these are not declarative rules. Obj validate is not a declarative rule, so we have to compulsory call it either in the flaction or in the activity we have to call. Let's see. So already designs and properties are there, so directly I can create this condition. So go to process category. This time we'll open validate rule from the process category. The rule name is validate. See, by default the name will be validate. So open validate rule from process category and give a name. And here there in the constraint means at the end we are going to choose property, but here in this template initial only for which property we are going to display error. So initial only we need to choose property name. See, for first name I'm going to add this message. So coming to the function, how to choose the function means click on add. So you'll get a dialog box to choose function. Same functions what we have in constraint, same we'll get. See, there means automatically the default function will be selected, but here manually we have to choose the function. See here, two strings I'm comparing. Last time means in constraints we use first value relation second value, but here I'm going to use first string relation second string I'm going to use. So now only if condition you'll be getting here, you don't get require that condition, we don't get here. So if first name equal to last name, so already property name is for which property error will be displayed in the property selection, we have already chosen this first name. So here I'm directly typing this message. Okay, some message I'm giving. Okay, enter valid input for f name. So this is one property. Now second one is I want to set a condition for age property, that age limit must be between 20 and 70. So choose property age, and so here age is integer property, so we can go with a function called first number relation second number. This one we can use to compare any integer properties. See here only one property, but for any integer property if you want to add any condition you can choose this function. Or you can also, a common generic function is first value relation second value, that we can use for any type of property we can use. But here I'm using specific function separately I'm using. Suppose if you don't know which function to use, you can directly go for first value relation second value, that will support all the types of properties it will support. Okay, but here I'm particularly choosing a specific type of function for each type of property. And coming to the condition here, age, so here apply the condition age less than or age less than or equal to. Okay, so age less than here I'm taking as 20. Then add a row, again select the, see we are applying some relation condition, right? So again choose the same function, again choose the condition as age greater than 70. So if the input for age is less than 20 or it is greater than 70, it should display the error message. So that message I'm giving here, age must be between. So set some message and submit. Now one more field I'm using. So when you're adding any properties in this rule, so it must be from one design only you have to use. You cannot again in this condition rule, you cannot use properties from some other designs like in address design, transaction design or vehicle design properties I cannot use. Again further designs if you need a condition, again open a separate rule and we need to define. Okay. And here I'm taking a property pin code. So pin code I want to set a specific length I want to set. Okay. See, for setting any length for any fields like either integer or string fields, see directly length function will not be there in the basic functions category. See, we can use something called expression builder. See, again in these conditions, in either in constraints or in obj validate, we can use expression builder. We can use. So how to use that expression builder or how to open that means. See, we'll be using a function called expression evaluates to true. So by selecting this function, we can open expression builder. So select the function expression evaluates to true. And from here, we can open the expression builder. From these settings, we can open. And there, so length we are setting, right? So the basic function is, the advanced function is their length. So type it and click on search. So add this function. So here parameter is string1 it is saying that is nothing but your property name. So we are using property as the pin code, right? And close this bracket. And coming to the condition, we need to add condition manually. So if not equal to 6 I'm taking because the length must be 6 digits. So if not equal to 6 means either less than or greater than, it is going to throw the some custom message which we are going to add. So after applying the function and condition, add a message. Click on submit. Save this design. So like that, any other properties required means for any other properties, if condition is required in the within one design means you can add it in the same rule we have to define. And this condition compulsory, if you call this condition, then only it is going to validate these properties. Okay, if you don't call the condition, it is not, even though condition is defined here specifically, if you don't call this, it will not validate any of these properties. So where we need to call, the best way is, see, these properties belongs to customer section. So we have to call these in the flaction. Open customer flaction. Open your customer flaction and then go to, so if you go to these validation tab, separately we are having this tab. So under the validation tab, so there is a rule called validate rule, right? In the down arrow, we need to choose the condition. Select the condition and save it. So like that, if you specifically in which design you are going to give the condition. So now in this particularly, we have already section, right? So it will read the input given for the properties and apply this validation. Okay, and now verify this condition is working or not. So make sure you save the flaction after giving condition. Now verify this design. Now I'm going to provide input for both first and last name. I'm going to provide, but give same values. I'm going to provide same values for fn last name. Then age value, I'm setting as a condition. According to the condition, it should be between 20 and 70. Another thing is, if I don't give input for gender, it will not read constraint condition. Okay, I'm giving input here only for the age property because I want to test these obj validate condition I want to test now. So I'm not giving input for gender. And then I'm going to provide input for pin code. See, it should be 6 digits, but I'm only entering this 5-digit number I'm giving. So now click on submit. See, this obj validate or validate rule come under server side validation. That is, after giving input and after submission only, it is going to read the condition. So because these are server validations, so after submission only it will read the condition and it will throw these messages because the template whatever input format given. See, both the inputs are both the inputs are same for first and last name. So this is validate message, and this one earlier we defined for constraint, right? That is the message. It is also reading the constraint condition also, right? So it will throw the message for last name too. And here age, if you verify, the value is 18. Suppose if I give more than 70, if I give more than 70 also, it will throw the error because it should be between 20 and 70. So again, the value given for pin code is also not matching with the condition. So it will throw error if it is not 6 digits. Okay. So like that, any template, any condition template defined. So if the input is not valid, or if input valid means if the input format or template is not correct means we cannot submit the form until we correct the format of the input. We cannot submit the form. So let's provide a different input for the first and last names. And for age I'm giving within limit I'm giving, and then for pin code also I'll enter one more digit. Now try to submit. We can finish the form. Okay, so if input template is not correct means it will throw error message. If input template is correct means we can submit the form. Okay, so that is about the obj validate. So obj validate and constraints, if you want to compare now, okay, the steps will be there in next screen. I'll discuss them. So once again, so here in order to define these validations, so specific to page, mainly constraint is everywhere it will apply, but specific to page if want to apply, so we have to go for this validate rule or obj validate. So after defining condition, compulsory we need to call it in the flag action, and after giving input and submitting the form, then only it will means this condition will be executed. Okay, so any condition given in the flag action after providing the input and submitting the form, then it will apply this validation. And there is an option I told, right? There is an activity, and in activity there is a method called obj validate. Okay, so there also we can call, but if you call it in this activity method, again this activity we need to call it in the flag action under action tab. Okay, under the post processing we have to give that activity name. So mostly means we'll call it in the preferred one is validation tab is there directly. We can directly give the name in the validation without adding some more steps here. You can directly call the validation in the validation tab. Okay. Now we will understand first the difference between constraint and obj validate. See, in case of constraint, it is a client-side validation because on refresh of browser, on load of page only, this validation will apply. Okay. Another thing is this is everywhere. Everywhere same validation will apply for the properties, but this is specific to page. This obj validate is specific to page. And these are dependency validations. Constraints are dependency validations, but obj validate is straightforward because directly initially only we are giving the property name for which property you need to define the message. So these are straightforward validations. Validate rule is straightforward validations. Constraints are client side, I told, right? So on giving in live means on giving input only it will work, but here means on submission, on refresh of page or on submit only it will work in personal edition. So but in the real time, on submission only, on refresh of page also it is going to work. Okay. Another thing is, so validate rule means if you submit, because we are giving the name in the flaction tab. Okay, sorry, in the flaction rule under the validation tab we are giving. So after giving input and submission only it is going to work. And other thing is here, what are the functions we use? Same functions we use in the validate rule also. But template is slight difference is there. In the constraint means you'll get the template like require that also you'll be getting. But here we don't get require that in the validate rule. Okay. And here at a time one form properties only we can validate. Okay, we cannot validate more than one page properties at a time, but here in constraints at a time we can validate all the pages properties in one condition only, one rule only we can define. In your application, if we have any page we have within that particular case or within that particular module, all page properties in one rule only we can define. But here any properties we use in this validate rule within that specific page, within that particular UI design only properties can be used. Okay. And after defining, no need to call the condition anywhere, but here we need to call the condition in the particularly, mostly means we'll call it in the flaction validation type. Otherwise in activity obj validate method is also available, you can just check that one. So see requirement here, whenever you get requirement, when we have to choose constraints and when we have to choose validate rule means, even in same validation in two different pages if you want to apply, or in multiple pages same validation if you want to apply, go for constraint. Suppose in if you have a requirement like a compulsory in two different pages, two different validations if you want to apply also, go for validate rule. Okay, so same validation everywhere means go with constraints, and different pages different condition means go for the obj validate or validate rule. Okay. And apart from that, there is other type is there edit validate that we are going to discuss now. See, edit validate purpose is see if you want to define a condition without function. See, in the first two types same functions we have and same functions we are using, but without functions if you get a requirement to define a validation, then we need to go for these edit validate rule, and these are also called as advanced validations. And in these advanced validations, Vega contains some predefined types are there. If you want to define, you can also add some user defined validation also you can define, but internally some script code we are going to, JavaScript code we are going to define. Don't worry, in the real time when you work on these edit validate, so who has knowledge on scripting and all, they are going to get the task. Okay, see any task routed to you also skill level it will be transferred. Okay, so any requirement regarding edit validate, if you need to add any user defined edit validate rule means, so who has knowledge on some scripting and all, so to such a person the task will be routed. If you don't have any knowledge on any script and all, don't worry. So even though if you are if you want to work on that, just some copy paste only guys, nothing, you don't write any new script codes and all. Already some resources will be there and you can just copy paste the code whatever. Yeah, because already many codes which are already written will be there in your knowledge base in the real time. Just you need to copy paste, that's it. Okay, so for that no need to have a knowledge also, but if you don't have any knowledge on scripting, some particular separate team will be there who has knowledge on that particular scripting and all, so to them the such a works will be assigned or such a task will be transferred. And here these are also called as advanced validations. In these see already unknowingly we already used this type. Example, in the starting classes when email id property is created, email is the type given, that is edit validate actually. So automatically when the type is chosen as email or when the type is chosen as phone for phone number, so automatically those are edit validate validations will apply, advanced validations will already apply for those two types. So like that again there are some built-in validation codes will be there. If any requirement is there we can choose them. Okay. Suppose in any requirement if the built-in validations are not suitable, then they need to define user defined edit validate rules, they need to define. Okay, I'll show one how to define edit validate rule. So let's see one example. After that, I'll discuss all these points. So basically, this rule will create from data model category. So to open here, I'll give the requirement first of all. These points again, I'll come back after the rule creation. See this one, I want to create a condition. Again, I'm using age property, but condition is different from the earlier one. See, earlier means I set the limit and same message I displayed for both the ranges. But here, if I want to set a different error message for both different ranges, so then we can go for these edit validate. Or if you want to define so multiple ranges, like not only within 20 and 70, if you want to set a multiple ranges also, you can go for this edit validate. Okay, and for every limit, if you want to set a different message, then I can go for the edit validate rule. So here I want to set a message condition. If less than 25 means display minus not eligible, and greater than 75 means display message like seniors not eligible for the policy. Okay, so here I want to show you. So you can open the rule from data model category. It's a edit validate. Under the data model, create edit validate. And here you can give a name for this. But here at a time, for one rule, one condition only we can define. At this time, I cannot define the same condition for multiple properties. Okay, one rule for one property, one condition separately we have to define. Okay, so open this, and I want to show you the easy process. See, when you open this like a Java source code box, you'll be getting. So, but if you where you can get these sources and all, for example, for integer types, maximum source will be common. Source code will be common for all the integer types. So already in Pega platform, some built-in edit validate codes are there, right? So I'm going to open one such rule. Okay, many are there. I'm going to open like a one edit validate rule. I'm going to open is non-negative. In the search box, you can type that. I'm going to type as is non-negative integer. This is some predefined edit validate rule. Open this one. See here, mostly if condition we have to update. So in this predefined rule, what are the code is there? Same code we can copy inside the new rule. Same code I'm going to copy in the new rule. But what is the change we have to configure is this if condition. In the previous built-in rule means if non-negative, right? If it is less than 0 means it is going to throw some error. But here what is the condition? If age less than 25, add one message, and if age greater than 75, add one message. So two if conditions are defined or required in this scenario, and we are also going to add some user defined message we are going to define. So for adding messages and all, the property dot add message. Don't worry if you don't have knowledge. Also no issue. Just I've given in the document the code. You can just copy paste. The condition one will be if I input less than 25, the property dot add message in the bracket you have to give the message. Another condition is if I input greater than 75, the property dot add message in the bracket you have to add the error message. Okay. So if you replace just this if condition, replace with a code which I'm going to show you. So open the rule and try to in the search box type that particular rule, and I'm going to copy this code I have given in the document, guys. You can just copy that code. So the format will be like this, and this code is case sensitive and make sure so give it in the same format. Okay, so the property dot add message in the bracket add the message return false. Again, second condition, if I input greater than 75, the property dot add message in the bracket add the error message and return false. So this code whatever we have replace, that is paste with the previous if code. Excuse me. So this is the code I updated instead of the previous if condition. Okay, give me 1 second. Okay, so replace the code and just save this rule. So this is also a normal rule where we need to define condition and we need to call it in the, but this edit validate we can also call it in 2 to 3 ways. In activity we can call, otherwise in the property level. Suppose everywhere if we need the condition, everywhere if we want to apply the same condition, call it at the property settings. In the property rule, if you go to advanced tab of property, there you will be getting option to call this validate rule. And if you want to call, there is a possibility specific to page. If you want to configure, means an activity two methods are there, property validate and page validate, two methods are there. So in activity also we can call this if required. Okay, so everywhere if you want to apply, means call it at directly on the property settings. And if you want to apply specific to page, means you can call it in the activity. If you call an activity, they'll be calling in the flaction rule, so it will apply only specific to that page. So here I'm going to call under the property settings. So after saving this validate rule, open age property. So for any property, this edit validate if you want to call under advanced tab, so you'll be having use validate option. So here we need to call edit validate rules. So other parameters are there. These are all, if you define in edit validate, every validation will apply automatically here. So there are other options are there, but those are not mandatory. All are optional only. Only thing is any edit validate rule if you are calling, so under use validate drop down we need to call. So in the down arrow, select your validation and save this one. Save it. Now the next one is, so wherever this age is used in application, everywhere this validation will apply. Okay, not only in this design, anywhere you are going to use this age property, everywhere this validation will apply. Now the next thing is verify this condition. Actually for age property already we have this constraint is dependency. Only if input is given for gender, then only it will read that. But we have this obj validate is also defined for age property. But in the real time, any one is sufficient. Actually, this obj validate is also similar to this condition only, but there only one message we have defined. But in this edit validate, we have separate messages for two different ranges. Okay, so but any one is sufficient in the real time, exactly which is required. Either obj validate or edit validate we are going to define in the real time. Both not required. But here, just to understand the scenario better, I have taken age example. Now execute this customer design and verify this condition. So I'm giving input as 23, and then give input for pin code, because actually any validations are defined. If you don't give input now in the developer environment, it will throw the error. It will throw automatically. If input is not given, it will throw the error. That's why for first name and pin code also I given input. Now we'll verify this condition. Now according to the requirement, if age is less than 25, it should throw the error, right? Submit this. So you can see the error message. Suppose let's change the, see in the obj valid condition, the condition is if input is 20, less than 20 means it will throw the error. But here in the edit valid condition I have taken as 25, less than 25. Okay, but if I give input for the more than 70, See, actually, obj valid condition is 70. Okay, within 70. So greater than 70 is given, it will throw, and even edit valid also 75. Greater than 75 have given. So if you submit these two, errors will generate. Not only one. For obj valid error also will generate here. Edit valid error also it will generate. But actually, first which will be executed means, see, first message what is there here, always it will first read the edit validate rule, it will read first. Okay, suppose edit validate and obj both are available by mistake, so then which will execute first means always edit validate will execute first. Okay, and then it will throw the message for the obj validate after submitting, then it will throw the message for the obj validate. Okay, but any one is sufficient in the real time, no need to define both. Okay, now comparing the points for edit validate. So it's a data model rule, and we'll define at property level, and these are also called as advanced validations we'll be calling. And these are fixed or specific to page. That is, if you are calling it property means it is fixed validation. If you call it in activity methods like page validate or property validate, then those will apply it specific to page. Okay, and these are straightforward like previous, like obj validate, these are also straightforward, but these are both client and server. See, constraints are only client validations. Obj validate is server side validation, because constraint means on load of page it will work, or on refresh of page it will work, and these obj validate means on submission it will work, that's why server side. And this edit validate is both client and server, because on load of page or on giving input also it will work, but in personalization it will not work. But in when application is live, when input is given, immediately it will populate the error message if input template is not correct. That's why it is on load of page is client side validation. And why server side means, because internally Java source code we are writing in this condition. So if Java source code is there, it is also called as a server side validation. So both it is client and server side validation if it is a edit validate. Another thing is in edit validate, we have to either Pega contains some predefined codes will be there. See where you can see the some predefined codes, I'll show you. And if you want to see the previously email ID, phone number I said, right? For those two automatically it will apply these edit validate. If you open email ID property, if you check in the advanced tab, automatically it will apply the edit validate rule. Even for phone number also, like valid phone number is the edit validate name, so which will automatically apply. So like that, for few types automatically advanced validation will apply, and sometimes we can manually also we can apply. Suppose if for any property, so there are different categories are there. For example, so like date format is there, then does class exist, file name, file type. Then these are some regularly international phone is blank, is boolean, is dot exist, is future date, is integer, is letter or digit, is letter or digit or space. These are all some built-in. Is non-negative integer, is decimal, special character, is valid date, is valid date time. So like that, these are all some built-in edit validate rules. And like that, if you scroll down again, like a US phone number, US zip code, SSN number starts with letter or double quotes. Okay, so starts with letter tin. So US zip code extended, US phone number. So these are all some edit validate rules. Okay, so like that, if any existing predefined validate rules matching, then we can use them. Okay, if any predefined validations are not matching means we need to manually define the source code. Okay, that source code and all you can easily get in the web, no issue. What is your requirement, you can easily get in the web, or who has knowledge on that, to them that task can be transferred or routed. Okay, so like that, once these validations are defined in my application, so you can compare. I have given the comparison of all the three types here. You can just review these constraints, validate rule, and edit validate. All the three comparison I have given, you can just check here. And in your application, what you'll do means once your verification is done, so what you can do means just block the validations or drop the validations. Okay, because from next time anyway, anytime if I execute the flow, compulsory I'll be getting these error messages if I don't provide the input for the fields. In personal edition only how to do, not required in the enterprise server. But in the personal edition now, what we are going to do means just drop these validations from execution. Okay, how to drop them or how to block from execution means, see, first open constraint rule, open constraint. See, in the constraint rule, it is a declarative rule. Okay, so if you block this condition, how to block the condition means in the next classes you will understand about something called availability types. Okay, what are availability types you'll be understanding in the next classes. As of now, do the setting which I'm going to show you. See, every rule when we generate, it will be having a default option called available. Next to the rule name, you can see that. Okay. Next to every rule name, if you see, by default, it will be showing as available. What we have to do means, if you want to drop this rule or if you want to block from execution, just withdraw the rule. If you withdraw means in the current class, all versions it is going to withdraw. More about this, you will understand in the coming classes. You'll understand. Okay. So withdraw this rule so that this will not get executed. This particular rule will be completely dropped, we can say. Okay, it will not be even though this rule we are using in the application or wherever you give input for the properties, if you withdraw this one, these rules, the property inputs when given also, it will not execute them. Okay, it will not execute this declare constraints like that. Now other one we want to drop from execution is obj validate. Actually obj validate we created in the process category, but after that it is not a declarative rule. So what we can do is inside the customer flaction, so if you don't want to execute the validations given in the customer for the customer design means, so go to validation tab in the flaction tool and just remove the validation name. See, if I remove the validation name, what happens means it will not get executed even though condition is defined in the validate rule. So this will not get executed if you remove the name of validation. And third one is for age property, edit validity is created. So edit validity is also we called in the property level, we call under the advanced tab of property we call. So what if you do, just remove the rule name. See, these are not required to do in the real time ways, but if you want to just without giving input, if you want to submit the first designs means, so these things you can do. Okay, optional these are. In the personalization if you want to do, you can do it guys. Okay, so for obj constraint means I withdraw the rule. What is withdraw types or availability types you'll understand later. And the other one is I removed the name from the flaction, and the other one is from the age property, this edit validate rule is removed. Okay, so that is about the validation. Just have a look on that. And next topic I'll be giving some introduction today, so which are nothing but actually okay, any questions before that? Any questions in previous topic? Any questions? Okay then. So again, there are some other declarative rules are there. So in the next session, one more declarative rule we'll be getting, and in advanced classes we will be getting some other two types of declarative rules are there, like trigger and index. But trigger and index I'll not be discussing now because we need some other rules knowledge is required to understand them. So in next session we'll be working on one more declarative rule. But before that, in the decision category, some conditions are categorized as declarative rules and some conditions are categorized as decision rules. So mainly in decision rules, some 3 to 4 conditions are there. I'll discuss them. Before that, what is the difference is, see, declarative rules, if you define a condition, no need to call anywhere. But if you take decision rules, after defining condition, we need to compulsory call the condition wherever it is required. Okay, so without calling condition in decision rules, we cannot implement your a condition. Okay, so it is mandatory to call the condition if you define any decision rule, but no need to call the condition anywhere if you define any declarative rule. So that is the first basic difference. Okay? Another thing is in decision rules category, some 3 to 4 types are there, like a decision table, decision tree, map value. And in the previous classes, we worked on when condition. Actually, when is also decision rule, but when many ways we can call in application. So, but these three and all, if you define any condition, only in 3 to 4 ways only we can call. Particularly in flows, you'll see again in flow you'll be having a shape called decision shape. Then if you want to call this condition, you can call it in activity. We can call decision rules in declare expressions. There is one option is there. In declare expression also we can call these decision rules. Or in other activity, suppose if you want to call these decision rules in other decision rule, actually only in decision tree other decision rules we can call, but not possible for others. Other decision rules, if you want to call in any decision rule, only in decision tree we can call other decision rules, but not possible in the all the decision rules. It is not possible. So there are some other points there which I'm going to discuss in the next session. So like the decision rules and declarative rules, main difference is in declarative rules, if you define any condition, no need to call them. But decision rules, if you define any condition, compulsory we need to call. Okay. So how to call and what are the process and what type of conditions we have in this. So tomorrow we'll be working on table and tree conditions. I'll be working decision table and decision tree. I'll be working. So I'll be continuing in the next session, guys. Okay. So any questions? Don't worry. This one again I'll explain in the next session tomorrow.